Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Richie Unicorn Caller here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is Monday, which basically means that you typically know Wiz news on Monday, but thought we could have a little bit of a community discussion talking about the upcoming fall update in terms of spells, because apparently there's going to be a quote-unquote over 100 or at least 100 spells in this update, which we will go further in and investigate, of course. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you as well to the recent support on the video, on the KI Live rundown video. That was really awesome. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you like the content, and yeah, just make sure to keep notifications on for those free codes, because those free codes are really tricky, man. But yeah, we're here to talk about new spells. Enough yapping. Let's get on to it. Atmoplex did this post I thought I would share with you guys, but it's pretty cool if you have an idea for a feature or change you'd like to see in Wizard or Pirate. This is just completely fan-made, and Atmoplex has done like a lot of really cool like fan post and stuff like that. They're a really creative team, so make sure to check this post out. I'll leave it in the comments. It has a bunch of stuff from like mount jewels and pet stitching and set bonuses, you know, the return of set bonuses, and you know, just a bunch of other cool stuff. So yeah, check it out. A lot of people have posted some really good questions and stuff like that. A lot of interesting stuff, so we might actually save that for like a separate video. But wanted to talk about the spells, and this comes in from, I believe, the KI Live, I think. But a question was asked, how many new spells, I think it was actually just in the Discord, but it says that how many new spells are coming in the fall update. Then RU replies, it's a bit more than 100. That is, first of all, that is just an insane number. But just hold your horses now. We still gotta, you know, investigate. All right. Anyway, another question is that, is this including mob-only cards or specifically player-only content? Or the replies with, these are all player spells. So this update is really interesting. It looks like that it's going to be really heavy on spells. As you can see here, here's the full context, because in Arc 1 spellments, they added like 42. So he thinks that maybe it's a bit more than 100. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. And as you can see here, we've had lots of spellments before in Arc 1 and Arc 2. So, you know, there's a lot of spells that you can get and train for. And there's actually more stuff down here as well. There are 7 new world spells, so we know that for sure. I asked them to make more in the style of Arc 1 and 2. I was wanting us to explore cinematics without the dome, basically, which is pretty interesting. So we know that we're going to be getting 7 new world spells, which is pretty awesome. So 100% new cinematics. And of course, he's asked them to kind of do it outside the dome. If you don't know, the Wallaroo spells had a dome-like type of animation. It kind of looked weird on the outside of combat if you weren't actually in the sigil. But yeah, this is pretty interesting. So we're starting to really heat up with this fall update, but like I said, just keep your expectations at a low, because this next part of information you might not be so happy about, you know, talking about 100 new spells. But here's more context. So for context, Artie later went on to clarify what he considered a new spell. So generally, it seems like he considers a spell with a path A and B to be 2 unique spells, which makes sense as some spellment paths can vary drastically in their effects, which is pretty interesting. So here's the context. There are some new utilities and stuff. It's why I wanted to be clear about what is considered a new spell and what isn't. Of course, I think of it from a practical standpoint. So to me, like Minotaur Path A and Path B are 2 spells, and we recently talked about the Minotaur chains that kind of rearrange the Polaris raid and, you know, all of that. Hopefully everybody gets some wins for the Polaris raid. And to go on further, he also says because you can pick one or the other, and they should each have a place in a meta. in the meta. So even if you can only pack one in main at a time, you can pack the other inside. I've seen people run damage only Elephant in the side and a conditional one in the main hand. But most of these new spells aren't Spellmint paths. We do Spellmint stuff mainly in spring. So that is a pretty big bombshell. He said that most of these new spells aren't Spellmint paths. That is pretty interesting. So yeah, and they mainly do the Spellman stuff mainly in the spring. So yeah, this fall update is really cooking. But again, I'm keeping my expectations low. I don't want myself or anybody else to be super disappointed, as we have seen countless of times playing this game. There's also another mention that happened previously, saying that already mentions again that this fall update is huge in terms of spells, unprecedented. So we are at capacity for now. I'd mentioned new auras, which we had talked about that we're getting new auras as well, but that's just a small thing relative to what else is planned. This is cooking, guys. I think we have an update that's cooking. I have discussed crit with Ratbeard before, but it hasn't been a high priority, relatively speaking. I'm not really concerned with critical. This fall is huge in terms of spells, unprecedented. So we are at capacity for now. The spring brings Arc 3 and Shadow. Interesting. We still need to audit P-Serve and a bunch of other things, including the ridiculous number of treasure cards. However, I'm open to discussing the stack rank of crit review in the backlog. Oh, not to mention balance review, which I'd like to do soon. Of course, there always has to be a balance. No ETA on the fall release, though, as dev can be a bit messy. Then, yeah, lots of new things. I'd mentioned new auras coming, but that's just a small thing relative to what else is planned. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff for the fall update. Again, this is just absolutely insane. And I think alongside new spells, it would be kind of cool to see new trainable spells, because remember, recently we had gotten some pretty nice updates concerning spellments. I mean, you can practically get a lot, like a good chunk of spells. I mean, anybody can pretty much train Rebirth now, because previously Rebirth was a, you know, life only spell that, you know, life wizards could learn. But, you know, now generally speaking, anybody can learn Rebirth, you know? So I think it would be cool to kind of see some other spells be available for more wizards. I would love to use Legion Shield. That is a ice spell where it gives you like a minus like 45 for all your allies. You know, that would be a pretty cool spell. I would love to pack in my deck. Also, maybe Bad Juju might be pretty useful as well. So there's definitely, you know, when it comes to Wizard101, there's a lot of possibilities, and just overall the potential of spells has a lot of possibilities and variations. And if we're talking about spellments and stuff like that, then yeah, there will definitely be a lot of spells coming this update. And judging by how it's worded, it seems like it's not only just going to be about spellments, it's going to be other stuff. We already talked about the recent teasers, talking about how there's a big emphasis on moon. So we might see some moon magic return as well. And of course, new auras, which will also be fun as well. I would love to pack more auras. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. You guys are way smarter than this than I am. Are you super excited about seeing some new spells? And if there is a new spell that you want, what would it be? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, until then, have a good start of your week. Today's Monday. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace out. I'm super excited for the fall update, but again, like I said, expectations, I'm just gonna go in blind. I'm just gonna go in, be like, okay, let's see what's going on, and hopefully nothing breaks. It's really, I mean, lately it just feels like nothing seems to work on launch. So, you know, I was just going with a smile, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully everybody else has fun with the update. I think it'll be a pretty fun update. I'm really excited. Alright, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace out.